Aloha. It's me, Nathan. And today is September 29th, 2025. And this is vlog number 12. We wanted to go and let you know how the week's been going for Chrissy, especially after her second round of chemo was completed. What's been happening with her since then. It's Sunday, just a little bit past midnight on the 29th. So from time to time, we sort of let you know how things have been going. This is actually since the vlog number 11. That weekend was great. But then on Monday, she seemed to start having some stomach cramps, some pain that was worsening. She had sensitivities to certain smells and some other sort of sensitivities. And then, the pain would sort of go up and down in terms of intensity. Sometimes she'd feel okay. She was able to go to work. And then she would feel some cramping and she was able to hold it together until, and sleep until, I think it was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. She wasn't able to work. The pain in her stomach got worse. She wasn't feeling well. And then Friday, she felt a little bit better. Started to eat some soup, have some watermelon. She was able to eat, in moderation. Anything liquid was okay. She was really trying to avoid any solids. So I was like through from Friday morning through the afternoon, and then all of a sudden, she just started to vomit. This is like the first time that she's thrown up really since May. And we know that vomiting is one of the side effects of chemo, so we knew to expect that. So after she threw up, she did feel a little bit better and was able to settle down a little bit. And then all of a sudden, she felt like she needed to go to the bathroom. So she went and had a little bit of diarrhea, which was to be expected. Came back, sat down. And again, just maybe 5 minutes later, she was up to the bathroom again and sat down. And once again, had to go to the bathroom. And at that point, she texted me and called me into the bathroom where she felt like she was going to pass out. So I went into the bathroom and sat and waited and watched her, monitored her, make sure she was okay. And lo and behold, she started to keel over. Her eyes started to close. I saw her starting to slump. And I grabbed her, and she thought I was trying to push her, and I told her that I was not pushing her. I was just trying to grab her and keep her from falling over. But her eyes at that point then really started to close. And all the color in her face started to drain. And then she got this very drawn look on her face. She did not even look like Chrissy at all. Just very drawn. And I was checking her breathing, and I noticed that her arms started to tighten. She wasn't able to move anything. It's just that she just became very rigid, almost like she was having muscle spasms. They got very tight. So I held on to her. And while I was holding on to her, I called our daughter, Pumehana, and told her to call 911 immediately, which she did. So I focused all my attention on Chrissy to make sure that I was going to keep her positioned and make sure that she wouldn't slump over. And she passed out, completely blacked out. So maybe at that point, I think it was maybe within 30 to 40 seconds, she regained consciousness again. And I told her what had happened, and we called 911, and it was really imperative we take her to the ER, and she was okay with that. So we got her a little settled until the ambulance arrived and the paramedics came in, checked her heart and blood pressure, vitals, gave her a glucose test, and saw, in fact, that her glucose was quite high. And so it was at that point we decided that, in fact, she was going to go to ER, get a follow-up checkup. And we loaded her into the ambulance. I sat in front, and she was in the back on the bed. We got to the hospital and ER, and at that point they moved her into a room, took a blood test, urine test, and I think all told was about 3 hours before we got the results. And the results showed that everything was okay, that there wasn't any other pain, nothing else that was going on. So at that point, then we got the discharge papers, and I'm reading them, and I was quite disconcerted because under the comments, the reason basically why we took her to the ER, it said that she had an upset stomach, she had diarrhea, and she'd been vomiting. And I did mention that she had passed out, but there was nothing on the discharge about that. And I felt like, I really was concerned that sometimes, and frustrated that sometimes my messages aren't properly conveyed to the people who need to know this information. So anyway, regardless, we got home, got her settled, and she went right to sleep. Then I think it was the next day, she started feeling that cramping again, and she was only able to stomach just the teeniest bits of sips of ginger ale and Gatorade. She wasn't able to stomach any food at all. She couldn't hold it down. And she threw up again. So then that was through the morning, and then I think it was Saturday, really all afternoon, through the rest of the day. That's how she was feeling. And then Sunday, which was yesterday, was really not her day at all. She slept throughout the day. She could barely tolerate any sips of liquids. So my concern really, and my hope, is that she's going to be able to stomach, to be able to eat a little bit more, and to be able to drink some more liquids. And as soon as the doctor office opens tomorrow, I'm going to give the doctor a call to find out what we should do next. I have to say, I'm very happy that I was able to be home from work. I'm off on Fridays, which was a good thing, because I can't even imagine what would have happened if I had not been home and she was alone and had passed out. She could have seriously injured herself. So I was really grateful I was able to be here. So this is Chrissy's current status. Her side effects are really hitting her hard. She's got that cramping, and that pain and cramping is going to be ongoing. She's not going to get any relief or reprieve. So it seems, though, if she stays motionless, then the pain seems to be kept at bay. So that she's resting and just taking the very smallest sips of any liquid she can have right now. And that's where she is at this point. And so this is really our message is to you, is to tell her what her status is currently, as of today. And also, we really wanted to show you our gratitude for your input, your emails, your messages on Facebook and Instagram, the likes, views. We are so appreciative of all of that, and we love you so much and hope that you are well and that you have a good day. Thank you.